friend. Welcome back to Mom Talk Mondays, where we talk about work, motherhood, marriage, and everything in between. I am J. Marie, and I am a working mom and wife. I have two daughters, whom, as you can see, I'm in front of one of their beds right now, because this is where we're going to have our real and honest conversations, y'all, every single week. In front of one bed over here and another bed over there. We're going to make it work. This is our cozy corner. So, with that being said, let's get right into the episode. Let's get comfortable first because we're going to have a real conversation. Okay, you got your coffee or your tea? You sit down? You ready? Are you driving? Can you hear me though? All right. All right, so we're going to talk about mom guilt this week and what we're learning or what I'm learning to let go of in regards to mom guilt. Okay, y'all. So I do have my points because I wanted to make sure that I hit like specific things while doing this. So every week I'm gonna have my different points that I want to talk about just to make sure I kind of like get a good balance on everything that I kind of want to say in my videos. If you do not know, I do have ADHD, so I can squirrel a lot and I can get off topic, i.e., right now, what I just did. All right, so first thing I do want to say is like the first part of the topic is that I want to talk about like the fact that some days we feel like we fail at everything as a mom. We fail at work, we fail at marriage, we fail at being a mother, and mom guilt is like so real. And I didn't realize that mom guilt was what it was until I had my own kids. Like you hear like the older women in your family or just women in general, older women will say, you'll realize everything when you get your own. That's not a lie. It's not a lie. You do realize a lot of stuff when you get your own kids. And that happened to me. I saw a lot of things and I realized like, oh my gosh, my mom was right about this when I had my own kids. One of those things being mom guilt, feeling guilty for doing things for yourself with or without the kids sometimes, because sometimes they then you like, oh my gosh, I feel guilty because I know they want to be here. Or when you leave them at home to go get like your basic needs of like your hair, your nails, toes, things, eyelashes, things done for yourself, and you're like, oh, I should have brought them, or I could have done something else with this money for them, but in reality you needed to do it for yourself, so you were doing the right thing, but we still feel guilty about it. We do. And mom guilt can look like doing too much screen time or not the whole plate meals that you see on the wall at the doctor, missing school events, getting overstimulated, getting overwhelmed, and like I said, doing things for yourself that you just feel guilty about. And I am guilty. I am guilty. We do a lot of screen time. We eat chicken nuggets and French fries for dinner. Yeah, we do. I give them a fruit most times. I do try to give them like a fruit, but that's it. I have not missed a lot of school events, but I have missed like certain events at the schools because the daycare doesn't allow us to be the parents to be at the certain functions. I get overstimulated. I get overwhelmed where I just kind of don't want to be touched. I'm all touched out. And there are times where I like get to a point where I'm just like, I need 5 minutes to myself. Like I really just need 5 minutes. And if you have a partner, that is where your partner can come in handy and you can say like, hey, I need to take 5 minutes. Can you just like listen out for them? My kids are a little bit older. So if you have newborns or something like that, you might have to say, hey, can you hold her while I go do this? I just need 5 minutes. And it's even hard to battle mom guilt. Because speaking of newborns, it's hard to battle mom guilt when you're going through postpartum as well. Like I dealt a lot of mom guilt and postpartum depression at the same time. And it was hard. It was so hard, to a point where I was a stay-at-home mom, and I literally felt like I was drowning. I felt like I was just failing at everything. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't contributing enough. I wasn't being a good parent, because I had one that was walking, talking, and running, and the other that was being breastfed and was like a literal newborn. And so I ended up getting a job. I felt so guilty about getting a job, because my youngest daughter was not even a year old. I got a job, and I was like, oh my gosh, now my daughter has to go to daycare. I felt so bad. And I was just like, am I really doing the right thing? But y'all, for my own sanity, for me to be the good mother that I am, I had to get a job. I had to get out of that house, and I had to go get a job. So just because you're doing certain things doesn't mean you're failing at it. It just means you care enough to do things, although you might feel sad or kind of like guilty about it, but it means you care enough to do it for the sake of your family, for the sake of your kids, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your partner. It doesn't mean you're failing. In so many words, y'all, it does not mean you're failing. It means that you care. You are a person that has compassion. So don't look at mom guilt as like a thing of like, oh, I'm failing because I feel guilty. I'm not doing good. No. When you have mom guilt, it just means that you love the people that are around you. You love them enough to make sure you are okay. That was good. You love them enough to make sure you're okay. So another point I want to talk about is like how to help refrain from feeling that mom guilt. And a lot of times you can't really refrain from it, but you can stop trying to be perfect and just be present. There are no perfect parents, and trying to drive yourself stir crazy to be perfect, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. So just be present. Like, being a parent doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means you need to be present. And it means that if they come up to you with this empty sippy cup and say, oh, mommy, here's your tea. You want to know what I'm going to do? Sorry, y'all. I really did drink some of my tea, but like, I'm going to slurp and act like it's a whole cup of tea in that little teacup. Or if they bring me a plate with their little play bread on it, here's your toast. Presence. Your kids just want you to be present. They don't want you to be perfect. In all honesty, as chaotic and wild as motherhood can be, they probably already think you're perfect. Just the way you are, even with all the crazy, they probably already think you're perfect. So why try to be perfect when they already think that you're perfect? Just be yourself. Be yourself. I know my kids probably think that I am the most insane person ever, because I will break out and dance randomly throughout the house. And they always like laugh and joke and, oh, mom. But yeah, I'm going to break out in dance. I'm going to break out in song. I'm going to quote a movie. I got that from my own mama. She quotes movies like it ain't no tomorrow. But I just try to be present. Like, I try not to be so focused on what I might have to do at work tomorrow, or if I'm going to be able to buy the latest gift for Christmas or whatever. I try to just be in the moment. And that can be hard too, because as an adult, you have to think about the future. You have to think about certain things. But like, just giving those 5 minutes of presence can make a world of a difference. And then here are some tips that I've learned over time to kind of help with mom guilt. Is like, I used to compare myself a lot. Like, I used to be like, oh, this mom is doing this mom is doing this, she's driving this car, she's doing that, she's doing it. I had to stop comparing myself, because I'm not them and they aren't me, and they don't have my husband, my kids, and I don't have their husband, their kids, or with their spouse or partner. Like, everybody's different. So you have to stop comparing yourself to like what social media, because it's really social media. What social media makes it seem like a mom is supposed to be. Honey, if your kids are fed and they in the bed, they at school, like as long as they're taken care of, and when you go to the doctor says everything's fine. You know, don't compare yourself. Just be you. Your kids are healthy and thriving. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Daily affirmations can help. So, like, one thing that I do is I get like I was gonna say a Sharpie, y'all. I'm not. I don't get a Sharpie. I get an Expo marker, and I write like affirmations like "You are great" or "I love you." Just like small affirmations on my mirror. With the Sharpie, you can change it every day, change it every week. Just small affirmations to say to yourself when you wake up in the morning to get you ready for the day and started for the day. And I wrote this one down specifically because I wanted to make sure I say this. Celebrate them small wins. If your kids got a bedtime of 8 o'clock and you get them in the bed at 7:59, even though they ain't sleep, they in the bed. That's a win. If you have a picky eater, I have picky eaters. If you have a picky eater and you cook a full blown meal and you like, okay, let's try it. They don't eat none of it. And they say, when you say, what do you want? And they say, oh, I want chicken nuggets. I'm gonna fix some chicken nuggets. If you eat the whole plate of chicken nuggets, that's a win. That's a win for me because you ate dinner. You want a bag of chips? You ate. You want some cheese? You ate. Now, granted, I'm not going to just get them cheese for dinner because typically my kids, they just want a bunch of little different things if they don't eat the whole meal. And so I try to just feed them as long as they're fed. That is best. Just even like with breastfeeding moms, they'll make you feel so guilty for feeding your baby formula or feeding your baby breast milk or doing both. I did both. I had to do both because I didn't produce enough milk to solely breastfeed both my girls. And people were trying to make you feel bad for that. Baby, fed is best. As long as your child is full, that's okay. If your infant is eating formula every day, all day, she's still getting what she needs. He or she is still getting what they need. If they're drinking strictly from the boob every day, they still getting what they need. Even if you are able to produce 2 ounces of milk, you give that to your baby and you give them the rest of formula, they still eating. You're doing great. Don't let society make you feel like you're not doing good when you are. Like a lot of times that stuff be projection. Like they're projecting the way they feel about themselves onto you to try to make you feel bad. Girl, nope. You're doing good. You're doing good. And mom, everybody experiences mom guilt, so you're not alone in that. But when it comes to practical tips, don't compare yourself. Celebrate them small wins, and excuse me, and give yourself some affirmations. Like just be you. That's one of the best tips I can give you is to just be yourself. We learn something about motherhood every single day. I learn something new every day, something different I could try with my kids. My kids teach me ways to parent them. So you learning something new every day. And no matter if you have one kid, two, three, four, five, six, with your kids, you're still learning how to be a parent every single day because even with that oldest child, no matter how old they are, you're still learning something new every day. Motherhood never stops. It never stops. You are still going to have first with every single kid, but especially with that first kid. So I want to leave you with this. You're doing better than you think. And feeling guilty doesn't mean you're failing. It means you care. So with that being said, tell me in the comments what's something you're letting go of this week. And on that note, that is the end of today's episode. And I will see you guys next Monday. Bye.